Welcome to our 7th grade blogging unit by Dana Prendergast and Corinne Tagansky. The students that will be participating in our unit are 7th graders between the ages of 12 and 13. About 70% of the students are Hispanic and come from Spanish-speaking homes. About 65% of the students come from low-income households with little to no access to technology at home. Our students have a wide range of skill levels on the computer and many diverse learning styles. There are also a few students with special needs that are accompanied with one-to-one aides. The school asks us to follow specific learning standards. The first one would be that each student understands and applies basic concepts of software applications, and the second one is that the student is able to demonstrate appropriate use of internet and internet sites. The specific objectives that we will look for in the student's completion would be that students are able to create meaningful posts and comments to others. Our second objective is that students will be able to demonstrate how appropriate netiquette corresponds with blogging online. And our final objective is that students will be able to edit their text, photos, and insert media into their kid blog posts. The teaching and learning strategy that we felt fit best was Madeline Hunter's Instructional Theory into Practice model. The learning objective was used to specify the skills students will learn throughout the unit. With our anticipatory set, we'll show a short BrainPop video called Online Etiquette. With our lesson objectives, the objectives will be displayed and discussed so that students can understand what they will be learning and why they are learning it. For input, students will be presented with information about blogging. For modeling, a demonstration will be shown so that students can see how to use kidblog.org as well as look at examples. We will check for understanding by using a paper blog activity for all students. Guided practice will be used when students will complete a blog graphic organizer before they begin writing their actual online blog. Our final one with independent study will be when students will work independently using our website, kidblog.org. The technologies that students will be utilizing are their student desktop computers, as well as the online blogging platform, kidblog.org. Our unit would take 6 days approximately. On day number 1, students would start by taking a technology survey, followed by watching a short video with an introduction to blogging. They would then have a classroom discussion over what they just saw, as well as visit some different blog examples and filling out an exit ticket, showing their understanding as they leave. With day number 2, students would review and go over netiquette so that they get a better understanding of what that means. They would be able to get an example of that through watching a short video provided by BrainPop on digital etiquette. Students will work in groups to complete netiquette posters. On day number 3, students will complete the paper blogging activity where they will write on paper and then respond on paper to their other friends. With day number 4, students will learn how to use kidblog.org and complete a blog graphic organizer in preparation for their actual blogging assignment. On that graphic organizer, they will put out their ideas of what they think their actual first post will look like, with the title, as well as some ideas about what they will write out. With day number 5, students will begin creating their blog using KidBlog. They will need to edit their text, their background, and add media to their posts. On our final day, students will publish their blogs and practice typing thoughtful and appropriate comments to their classmates' blog post. Options for differentiation would be flexible grouping, a speech recognition software program called Dragon, differentiated worksheets, as well as modified assignments, each in order to meet specific students' individual needs. The first handout students would get would be on the very first day, giving them some introduction information to what blogging is, a visual example. And at the bottom, after they view some blogging examples online, they'll be able to write in the box what their thoughts, ideas, and opinions were on blogs 1 and blog 2. The second handout is what students would receive in order to finish their paper blogging activity. At the top, they write their blogging title and then write down their body or their ideas of what their post would be. Our third handout is where students will organize their ideas and what they want their blog post to be before they actually put it on kidblog.com. The final handout students would get is an example of their project guide that they would get in order to follow up with the activities we have already practiced and in order to properly submit, post, and make comments on others on kidblog.org. A sample student artifact would look like such. Students will create this using KidBlog. Within their blog posts, students will have to include one form of media about their topic. An example of that is a photo like was inserted here. This unit is an example of redefinition. The technology enables students to share their thoughts, feelings, and ideas with others outside of their normal environment and connect with a new environment, the world. With a specific blogging platform, students are connecting with classmates and gaining different perspectives on various topics that they may not have gotten otherwise. The ability to gain their perspectives on events and ideas was not as easily available for students to do before blogs, as it would be difficult to connect with people outside of their current environment. It also helps students of all sorts expand their perspectives and understanding of those around them. To evaluate the student learning of content, we would use different formative assessments throughout the unit, such as discussion, peer assessments, think, pair, share, constructive quizzes, exit slips, and finally a rubric. In order to evaluate the design of the lesson, we would look more so at the results of the student assessments. From those results, we would then determine the areas of concern where student understanding was not as high as expected and go back to examine the lessons themselves. At the end of the unit, an online survey would be conducted to gather student feedback and reflect on the strengths and weaknesses of the unit plan.